Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I will be reviewing one of my favorite apps for digital art. This app is Paper by WeTransfer, and this is the demo book that they give you when you first get the app so you can go through and look at all the drawings that they have. I have found that this app most closely resembles traditional art, so that's why it's my favorite. So this is my sketchbook, and these are some of the pieces that I have done recently, and most of the time I will sketch it out traditionally and put it back in this sketchbook and color it digitally. So there are only certain things you can do on this app without buying the subscription or the in-app purchases. And one of those things is you can only put one picture on a page. So what I normally do is I put my sketchbook pictures on the page, and then if I want to place another one, I'll just delete the last one and go back and put the other one in there like I did for this one. So I'm going in with the colored pencil to get that colored pencil texture on the tree branch. So here is all the pencils and pens and stuff that you can use. There's an eraser, a smudger tool, and then there's an ink pen, a pencil, markers, fine liners, and I'm testing them all out here so you can see the difference in all of them. But I prefer to use the colored pencils just because I like the texture that it adds onto the page, and it looks more like traditional art that way. There is also a watercolor brush that I like to use to get some color down first, and then I'll normally go over that with a colored pencil to add the colored pencil texture, but I just lay a general color like I did with the tree branch. If you click on the little landscape looking picture, that's how you import pictures from your library and stuff like that onto the page, and it'll let you do it by your photos or what's already been in your journal. You can just add whatever you want, but it is limited to one picture unless you're willing to pay for the pro. And then on here, you can choose what you want your finger to be able to do as compared to your Apple Pencil, whether you want it to blend or do different things. But I just have it on nothing because a lot of the times if my finger accidentally touches the screen, it'll write on it. So I just use the nothing so it doesn't make dots all over my page. So here I am coloring in the blue jay that I drew in one of my old sketchbooks. The reason I use pictures from some of my sketchbooks is because a lot of times I will sketch stuff out and then I'll be too nervous to color it, so I just leave it as a sketch. And so on this app, you're able to color it in a way that you want to without the fear of messing it up and not being able to keep the sketch that you originally had. I've also found that it's easier if you get all the colors you want and swatch them out beside your drawing so that if you ever had to go back and wanted to use like the same color you had on a certain area, that you can just use the tool to select a color and select those colors that are over there. So what I first did was put down just a base color for this whole drawing, and then I go back and add like darker or lighter colors depending on what I'm wanting. I was finding that the feathers were not separated enough, so I went back in with like one of the marker tools and was able to trace out the feathers so you can tell individual ones because it seemed like they were just blending together. Honestly, the way these colors lay down too is very closely related to colored pencil because the more layers you go over it, the more it's going to cover up that like papery type material. And I've just found that this is my favorite way to do digital art lately. Obviously, there's a different way you can do things, and I'm not a pro by any means, but this is just how I'm able to use the app without using the pro subscription or anything like that. I haven't tested the full limits, like if they have a page limit before you have to create a new one, or if they have a certain amount of notebooks you can create, but if I find that, I'll put it down in the subscription. Honestly, at this point, I was struggling to get the feather texture that I wanted. So later I go back and fix that, but right now I just started to put colors on in like a zigzag pattern to hopefully try to mimic feathers, but I don't think it turned out exactly how I wanted, but I'm not dissatisfied with the whole outcome of it. So I started off making the lines and the feathers black, but I found that it was just too dark and I didn't really like the way it turned out. So I just got the blue color that I used beforehand and I darkened it up so that it was closer to black, but not exactly black. It was more of a navy color, and I liked the way that turned out better. I still colored the tips of the feathers black because I felt like that looked fine. I just didn't do all the lines in the black colored pencil. So if you tap on the color, it pulls up sliders that you can use. So I just tapped on that color, the dark navy color, and I made it even darker so that it was closer to black. And honestly, this app has been very simple and easy to learn, so I would highly recommend it for any artist who is looking at doing digital art but wants more of a traditional feel. So here's when I tried to add like a feather texture to the top part because I realized that it was just looking too plain for my liking. So I went back in with a white colored pencil and did like feather shapes and shading on that. The white pencil wasn't standing out enough, so I went back in with like the fine liner tool and was able to outline the feathers better so that they would stand out more. Then I started to add all the highlights and the piece was finished. After I'm completely finished with the piece, I go back and erase all my swatches to the side so that the sketchbook looks cleaner. But yeah, here's the finished page. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.